Today I am soft modding the system so that I could add a larger hard drive to it. Sorry, I had to take a swig of my coffee. Let's see. I am going to do a soft mod using the MechWarrior disk, and I've been too lazy to update the old soft mod on my memory card, so it's I'll be doing an old soft mod and then upgrading using Rockies to the 1.18 or 1.81 or whatever the latest release is. I think it's 1.18. And then I will be swapping out the drive with a larger drive. Oh, hello. I can see myself in the reflection. Haha. Yes, I'm big, I'm tall. 6'8" and about 290 pounds. Let's see. We will go ahead and set this clock real quick. It is 12:55. Yes, there is a delay. I think there's like a 30-second delay or something like that on these videos. And today is 7:10. This doesn't really matter because it's gonna sit long enough. It's probably gonna with the power unplugged, that's probably gonna lose it again since there's no clock capacitor in there. The soft mod will go online and set the time, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we will go to memory card. And my mods are on my USB, which is in the first memory slot. And this is the SID installer. Like I said, this is an old installer, but what works works, and it only takes me an extra minute or two to do the upgrade. I've just been too lazy to install the Rocky installer files to this. But I will get it started so that it can copy over the data. Usually takes about a minute or so for it to do this, and then I'll copy over the save game from the MechWarrior exploit, and then I will start the modding process. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. On a soft mod, there's really not too much you can do to screw up your system, but if you follow these steps, you won't have any issues with it. Today's been a lazy day. I've made a few videos already. It's raining. I want to paint and I can't paint, and it's driving me nuts. So I'll catch up on some of these other videos I need to make and get you guys some more content today. I hope you guys like the 2-camera setup. I'm going to work on it more so that I can do some footage with me on screen. I am one ugly mug, just to let you guys know ahead of time. So I will probably break many monitors and probably scare animals and girlfriends away too. But as long as I can provide you with knowledge, that's all that matters. My looks don't count. Just my brain. So we're just about done now. And I'm going to go back and copy over the mech assault. And from here, we should be good to go. I'm going to drop back down to the main screen. At this point, I am going to unplug the USB, plug in the controller to the main port. Oops, probably should have had that open anyway. And at this time, we are going to put in our MechWarrior CD. Or, sorry, MechWarrior, Mech Assault. I was talking to somebody about Mech Warrior the other day, how I loved playing that back in the day, Mech Warrior and Mech Warrior 2. And it's just been on the brain, so my bad. But we will get this going. I love that the Thompson has held out very well. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. I was worried about it not reading there. It sounded like it was struggling. But when I put in Halo 2, I think it was. Was it 2? It booted right up. I mean, it went to the load screen like almost instantly. But this seems all right. This is a more worn disc. It's got a little bit more scratches on it, so that might be why it took a little bit longer for it to find it. But it shouldn't be a big deal. So the save game is going to be under your campaign. So just go ahead and go into campaign, and it will be your Run Linux. See the difference between the two? Run Linux. And that will start the soft modding process. And I'll do a video later where I set up one of the USB thumb drives for the first time so that you guys can do that if you haven't managed to do that yet. Wow, this is like one of the earliest Xbox boards that I've seen. And normally you don't see these in the later 2002. It's usually a 1A, I think it is, or a 1B, if I remember correctly. I've never seen a 0A before, I don't recall. So this might have been one of those boards that had just been sitting in a bin and it got thrown in a later system. We are going to do a backup because it will not let you start the soft mod unless you do a backup first. So we have to do the EEPROM backup, the MS backup, and the C drive backup before it will let us continue. So I'll get started with the first one. And we just want to do a backup EEPROM. And you can go back to the main menu. And here we will start the single boot. Oops, I'm sorry. Accidentally pushed that too fast. We want to do the standard for the standard AV cable. You'll have issues if you do the other ones and you don't have the right cable. And I usually do the Unleash X. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to be replacing it. It's just easier for me to navigate through that. And we're just, oh, did I not? Oh, I did not. I didn't do the third part. Sorry. Create the seed backup. Did I? No, I don't think I did the MS backup either. I think it kicked me back to the main menu, and I just got a little ahead of myself there. So I'll start this one, and then once this is done, I'll do the MS backup. Like I said, when I'm doing these, modding these systems, it's gotten to the point now where I'm just like in robot mode. So I don't even really think. I just do the stuff, and when I'm forcing myself to think about it, I'm not doing it properly. And we're good with that. So let's go back to the MS backup and do this one just to make sure I did this one. I don't think I did this one. I think I would have remembered if it was scrolling. I'm getting really good speeds from this board and DVD drive. Seven megabytes a second, basically. That's almost 8 megabytes a second. That's pretty darn fast for an old Thompson. All right. So now we should be able to do the install. We're going to do a single boot soft mod standard for the regular AV cable. And make sure you are using a legit Xbox controller when you're doing this. Otherwise, you're going to have issues. Like I said, I usually do the Unleash X. And it shows we have passed all requirements, meaning we've done all 3 backups we need to do. Yeah, this is nice speeds on this. This is a really good drive. Most of the systems that I see fluctuate between 2,000 and 5,000 K a second, and this one is just it's fast. It's very surprising from a Thompson. And once it's done with this, it's going to reboot, and then I'm going to start the upgrade process to a new dashboard. I think my phone's going off. See who is messaging me. So this is basically copying over all the soft mod stuff, not the soft mod, the dashboard files, all the graphics, stuff like that. So how do you guys like the multiple cameras that I have now? Trying to get a third so that I could have one of these 4K video cameras as a top down. It's got a much better white balance and color than the Canon that I use. And it's nice it has a clean HDMI output. I was worried about that because I was getting the icons on the screen and I couldn't figure out how to change it. But it looks like it's a nice little 4K camera, and it does tracking, so it focuses. It has autofocus, and it's going to be a nice little improvement to my videos to be able to have the extra camera. So it's going to shut down at this point. I want to pull out the old disk so it doesn't load back up into Mech Assault again. Oh, come on, pain in the butt. And I just want to make sure it boots into a dashboard, just to make sure it worked properly. And we have dashboard. And this has been on for probably about 45 minutes now. I had it on before I started filming. And those are very nice numbers. So that makes me very happy. It's got some pretty low temperatures for being an older system. I can only imagine what it was before I put the new heatsink compound on. So now I'm going to get in the way of the picture, and I think this is the one. I'll pop this upgrade disc in. I think this is the right one. And hopefully, hopefully this drive will read the burn disk, and it looks like it's going to. So that is a good sign. My phone is going crazy. Of course, nobody ever messages me any other time of the day, and then when I'm filming, I keep getting messages. Okay, message from my friend. I was telling her that she needed to sign up to try to get a video card. So I don't know what I just did. Oh, it's taking a long time to load. I forgot. The Thompsons sometimes struggle loading the DVD-Rs, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 minutes for them to come up. So hopefully that's the issue, and it's not having trouble reading it. Worst case scenario, what I'll do is I'll temporarily put another DVD drive on it to finish the soft mod, and it reads regular disc fine, so I'm not even too concerned about that. So it's as long as it reads the regular disc, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. But I'm still not seeing. It's still trying to read. It's the flashing green indicates that it's trying to read from the disc. So I'm hoping this will go through. Now I haven't cleaned out the laser yet, or the inside of the DVD drive. I was hoping that it would just work as is without doing that. So I will probably end up cleaning it out just to rule out any possibility that this is not loading because of the fact that it's dirty. But like I said, the original discs are loading up fine. There are 2 lasers on the Thompson, one for CD reading and one for DVD reading. And it's very possible that the one for the CDs is just crapping out. So what I will do is, like I said, I'll pop in another drive, get it finished, and then put the original drive back in. So I'm going to let it sit for about another 30 seconds. If I still don't see any activity, I will cut it down and pop in the other drive. I do know that the Thompsons are one of the drives that are notorious for not having compatibility with most media. So, all right, let me put in my other drive if I can find it. There it is. Move cat. And of course, my roommate's home, so she's gonna come upstairs and make noise. So. And you know what? It might even just be this disc. I'm going to try another disc real quick. I think it was this one. It's almost time for me to burn another one. I've used so many. Let's see if this one works. Nope. Looks like this one's going to be a pain in the ass too. Alright, so we'll eject the disk and plug in the other drive real quick. How do I have an ant in the house? Ant no more. Squeesh. Alright, so plug this in. Of course, I'm on camera. Of course. And get that plugged in. Today, maybe that's the wrong disc. Let it go for a minute. Try that other disc. I've got several from burning extras and using ones until they completely die. Like this one, it's just like so scratched up, it's not even funny. I use them for probably about 50 or so systems, and then I just toss them and burn another one. There we go. Alright, that's what I wanted to see. Maybe. Read the first part. And my cat's over there licking plastic. Anybody have cats that like to lick plastic? It's really weird. Apparently it has something to do with the fact that a lot of plastics are made with beef fat. And apparently they can smell and taste the fat in the plastic. I don't understand this. It came up, it showed the version of the system that it was soft modded and not hard modded. But now it's not reading the rest of the disk. Of course, something always goes wrong when I'm trying to do a live stream. Check the other disk. See what this one does. I got 3 that are labeled and 1 that's not. So I'm hoping one of them will work. If not, I'm going to have to stop the video and make one. That's a good sign this time. At least it's solid green. sure why that's not coming up. Let me try that fourth disc, since apparently I don't know what I'm doing. See what this one does. So you took your clock capacitor out and got a 12 error message. I've seen that before, and I'm trying to remember what causes that. I think it has to do with the fact that you're not updated to the latest dashboard when you remove the clock capacitor. Or it's possible that you may have removed the clock capacitor on a 1.6. Did you verify what version system you had before you removed it? And I'm hoping you're still around, because I saw that message came in 10 minutes ago. And I'm just now looking back at my computer. And yes, this one's not even booting either. I don't understand that. So instead of messing around with it, I'm going to burn a quick disk and just get that taken care of to eliminate what is causing the issue. I'm pretty sure it's just the disk and not an ID10T error, which is an error that I come across quite a few times a day. Let's see. No, I said go in there. Fit. Okay. Alright, let me pull open my files and make a quick burn. It will take about a minute for it to burn. Could always just FTP, but I do have a cable that's long enough. Okay. That will be easier than me screwing around with it for 30 minutes. Or not 30 minutes, just a few minutes, but I'm going to reach under my desk and of course there are no free ports. Let's see. I try to prep all this crap before I do a video, and I still manage to screw stuff up. So I'm going to throw that in there, and it may not be long enough. And it's not. Son of a bitch. See if I can turn this to the side and plug it in that way. Yay. So I need to pop that disc out. And this is a workaround if you have an issue with your disc. I'm just, right now I don't feel like getting another one burnt. I gotta find where I did with the files. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my IP address, which right now this one's set at static, so I need to change that to dynamic. And once I change it, I'll get me an address that I can connect to through my PC, which You're not going to be able to see that. And I'm going to stop my FTP, then restart my network. And then start my FTP. So my address on my network is 10.0.0.193, found in the bottom right-hand corner. Yours is probably going to be different, just depends on what network settings you have on your internet. And I'm going to open FileZilla. Wow, those temperatures are nice, 47 and 46. Oh, I'm really happy about those temperatures. And I will put in my address here, 10.0.0 and 193. Login Xbox, password Xbox, port 21. So I'm going to put this under the apps folder on the E drive, and this will allow me to do the upgrade. Oh, sorry, I can't put that in the apps folder. It has to just be in the root of the E drive in order to do the upgrade. And I'm going to upload that folder, which is called Quick Upgrade. And it is installing now. One file left. All right, so that's installed. And now what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to go to the File Explorer, go to the E drive, Quick Upgrade, and unleash Xbox XBE. All right, 1.1.8. I was saying 1.18 or 1.81. It's 1.1.8. Okay, that's the latest. And I am in the NTSC region, so I use that. (2002) model, so it's probably a 1.0 or a 1.1. I'm gonna guess that it never had live installed to the dashboard. Put in, do you have a later game with live enabled on it, like Halo 2 or something like that? If so, take the disc, turn the system on, put it in the tray, and then turn the system off. Okay, otherwise it's going to try to load from the dashboard to get to the drive. Once you have that disk in there, turn it on and see if it will actually load up that disk. If it loads up the disk, it should automatically load the live software. I know there's some that you actually have to go into the disk and manually install it through one of the menus. I think I've only ever done that once, so I can't remember the exact steps. But I think that's the issue where you have to upgrade to a newer dashboard. Otherwise, it's going to have issues. Like this one, I was expecting to have to update this one to a newer dashboard before I did the soft mod. But when I booted up the system for the first time, it showed Xbox Live on the carousel. So didn't have to on this one. So we're going to restart the Xbox now. Can't remember if I left that disc in there or not. No. So now it's doing the updates for the mod, and then it's going to start installing the files. And I think this is either a 2 or a 3 restart process that it will automatically restart a couple times before it's finished. Yeah, try that out. Never. I'm pretty sure that's probably what your issue is. Um, the fact that it didn't have live on it, because I know the earlier dashboards had issues when you tried to run the soft mods, and it just causes all kinds of problems with the old dash. Let's see. Launch this. We're at the new dash. Um, and this is just temporary. I mean, this drive's not even going to stay in here, but I get it up and running so that way, once the new drives in the system, if something were to happen to that new drive, in this case, it's not a new drive; it's a new to the system drive. It's a used drive. Um, it will allow you to pop that old drive out and put in your original drive and still have a system to use. So let's see, what do I want to do next? I'm trying to remember what I normally do after this. Oh, NK patcher. That's what I want to do. This is a way so that you can easily swap out your drives. If you've never done it before, you have to be very careful. You can break your system, and you'll have to get an EEPROM reader in order to be able to get your system back up and running. But it's pretty straightforward. You just go in with the soft modding tool. You go into EEPROM under the NK patcher, go to Advanced Features, and then we want to go to the hard drive, and we're going to change the EEPROM key. Now this sets it to all ones. A lot of the older versions would zero out your key, so it would be all zeros, 32 ones as opposed to 32 zeros. The ones, it's to provide better compatibility with the new live service that the people are making. It apparently doesn't work if the drive's zeroed out, so I've moved to using all ones. And this will also allow me to swap out the drive very easily. I've got an image on my hard drive on my desktop that I can just burn the image to a drive, plug it in, and it'll work. So it's really simple. I can do that with any of the 4 different images I have. I have a 256 gigabyte, a 512 gigabyte, a 1 terabyte, and a 2 terabyte image. So now it's locking my drive so that it'll work. It so that it will work. And the other drives, the image that I have, the drives are not locked, and this allows me to be able to use them on either a hard modded or a soft modded system. So what I have to do in order to use it on a soft modded system is I have to pop the drive into a hard modded system first, real quick, to boot it up and to lock the drive. Once I lock the drive, I can throw it into any Xbox with a drive that has had the password set as all ones. So it makes things very easy, makes things quick. There for a while, a 2 terabyte hard drive, I was having to manually FTP over everything every time I did an installation. And I don't know if you ever tried to FTP over 1.6 terabytes onto a hard drive from a 100 megabit connection. It only goes at like 12 megabytes a second. So that's like a week and a half's worth of solid 24/7 FTPing to that system. Well, one thing good comes out of that. You know that the Xbox that you're transferring the data to is a solid Xbox, and it's not going to crash if it could stay up for a week and a half straight, 24 hours a day. So that's one of the benefits of doing it that way. But I don't have a week and a half every time I make one of these systems to set up the hard drive. The cloning process, I can start that before I go to bed, and it's done when I wake up in the morning.